Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am about to make some banana nut bread, chocolate chip banana nut bread, and I thought I would make a video just in case you guys wanted to join me and perhaps learn a new recipe. So this is how I make my banana nut bread. Okay, so I start off with a half a cup of butter. I do mix it. I do half butter and I do half coconut oil. I use the hard coconut oil and then just slightly soften it before I start the recipe. Then I add to that, and you can use shortening if you want to or whatever. Then to that, I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar. So I use mostly brown sugar and a little bit of white sugar in there. And then I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. Make sure there's no big clumps of brown sugar. And that's about it. And then once that is nicely mixed up, you do want to make sure that there's no chunks. Probably should have broke them up before I started doing the recipe. But you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Alright, and you know, if there's little chunks of brown sugar, it's not going to end the world. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add 2 eggs. And now you really do want to mix this part quite well. You want to make sure that the egg mixture is thoroughly incorporated into the sugar and the oils that you're using. And again, I'm trying to use more coconut oil and butter. And with cooking, I try to use more bacon fat and tallow and things like that. Just more natural choices. I stay away completely from seed oils, like any, vegetable oils, and none of that's good for us. It really does turn rancid in our bodies. So now that I have that all mixed up, there is some brown sugar clumps, but I'm good with that. To this, I'm going to add 1 1/4 cups of flour. Now, the recipe calls for 1 3/4 cups of flour, and I have 2 different options for this. So, if you're just using flour, it's 1 3/4 cups. However, I am going to go 1 1/4 cups of flour. I'm going to add in, where is it? Where's me oats? What did I do with me oats? Alright. Oh, here's my oats. And a half cup of oats. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt. I like to use pink Himalayan salt. And then I'm going to mix this all together. So one of the things about this recipe is you don't want to over mix it with a banana bread. That's the only way you can really go wrong, is by over mixing it. I see a lot of people use a blender. It doesn't really take long to incorporate. You just want to make sure that there's no streaks of flour running through anything. Like I said, I probably have some brown sugar lumps, but I'm not too picky. I'm just doing this so that there's snacks available that are fairly healthy for us to munch on, whether it's in the morning with a cup of coffee or whatever. So now to this, I am going to add a half a cup of walnuts and a half a cup of chocolate chips. A little over half a cup chocolate chips. I kind of like stuff on the sweeter side. Okay, and then we're going to mix that all in. Oh, you know what? Forgot my banana, you guys. So to this, I'm going to add 3 ripe bananas, which is about a cup. It can be over a cup. It can be under a cup. Yeah, I've done this before too, where I've forgotten to add the banana, and it's not a big deal. So you just want to incorporate this now. And then you're going to bake this at 300, well, depending on your cooking pan, I'm using a non-stick, but I line it with parchment paper because I don't like to have to clean it. So somewhere between, you know your oven, right? 325, 350. If your oven runs hot, run it at 325. If your oven runs a little low, run it at 350. And I'm going to bake it for 45 minutes to 55 minutes, somewhere in there, checking along the way. I'll let you watch me pour it into the pan. Hopefully I don't... See, you guys, I'm kind of like... I'm scattered tonight. Oh, here we go. I'm scattered tonight. I'm not... You know, the week is done. It's been a hard week. It's been raining here a lot in BC. Lots of muck to deal with and unhappy animals. You know, the chickens, they like their little butts dry. My dogs are even complaining about the rain. Okay, so I'm going to plop this into my pan here. And this is a really yummy, yummy, yummy banana bread. It's got lots to it with the oats and the nuts and the chocolate chips, so it's a little sweet. And there's a little bit of salt in there and some vanilla. And it makes for a really yummy, yummy bite to eat. Like I said, either with your coffee or in the afternoon if you missed your coffee. Because that sometimes happens. Okay, so... Yes, I'm using my finger. It's okay. I washed my hands. Okay. I'm going to stick this in the oven and then I'll bring you guys back. Hey guys. Okay, so it's out of the oven. I have been eating it. I cannot tell a lie. Absolutely delicious. Let me see if you guys can take a good look at this. See all the chunks of banana and chocolate chips and nuts and absolutely delicious. It smells so good. I smell the butter. I smell the brown sugar. My mouth is watering. I smell the vanilla. It's nice and moist. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's nice and moist and juicy and full of goodness. So I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. Let me know in the comments below if you have something favorite about your banana bread. Sometimes I add cinnamon or nutmeg into it. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? It's your kitchen, your rules. I hope you enjoyed this and have a great night. Bye-bye.